All right, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alameda County Supervisor Nate Miley, representing District 4. We're out here on Earth Day launching our pilot cleanup of G Street and Railroad Avenue. We hope to have G Street and Railroad Avenue free of illegal dumping. We are going to be employing strategies. We'll be evaluating those strategies, seeing whether or not those strategies are working to sustain an effort at keeping this street and railroad clean of debris and illegal dumping. We recognize that it's important that we have both eradication, enforcement, and education, because we can't do just eradication without education and enforcement. And so I'm really pleased to have other stakeholders working with me on this effort. I've convened an illegal dumping task force. The task force meets regularly. It's made up of representatives from Alameda County, from community-based organizations, from the city of Oakland, and other stakeholders from other jurisdictions. We've worked with San Jose, Contra Costa County, we've spoken to LA, Vallejo, etc., because the problem of illegal dumping isn't just an issue in Oakland, isn't just an issue in Alameda County. It's a regional issue, it's a statewide issue, and that's why we all need to band together to address it. We chose this street, G Street and Railroad Avenue, because the city of Oakland indicated that these were two of their hardest hit streets for illegal dumping. The mayor has informed me there's probably at least 100 hot spots throughout the city where people illegally dump. So if we can sustain an effort at preventing illegal dumping here, then we can try to bring this to scale and duplicate it throughout other places in the city and throughout the region. I'm really pleased this afternoon to have others working with me on this, as I said before, because illegal dumping knows no boundaries. It's a plague on our community, and we all need to chip in to address it. And not only do we have community-based organizations and public sector jurisdictions, we have business community working with us as well. So initially, let me turn to the Alameda County Sheriff's Department and Alameda County District Attorney's Office, because they are really fundamentally key in our efforts around this, because we need to have enforcement. We need to catch some illegal dumpers. We need to bring them to justice, because if we allow folks to get away with illegal dumping with impunity, it's like the sideshow. Bad behavior breeds more bad behavior. It brings down the quality of life for communities, and we cannot allow that to happen. And if we can bring about a better sense of justice to this community and other communities like that in Oakland and throughout the region, then I think we would have served a worthy purpose as public officials. So let me bring on the District Attorney's Office and the Sheriff's Department, because both Sheriff Ahern and the District Attorney, Alameda County District Attorney O'Malley, are firmly supportive of this effort, and they have representatives here this afternoon that can speak to their involvement and their commitment. So I'll bring up the Sheriff's Department and the DA.
Hi, good morning. I'm Jimmy McGrail, a captain with the Alameda County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office is excited to partner with Supervisor Miley and the community around here to clean up G Street. We're going to have increased patrols throughout G Street and Railroad Avenue during this pilot program to enforce illegal dumping statutes, and we're partnering with the DA's office to have direct line for prosecution. So we will have investigators looking at dumping piles, and we'll have increased patrol for on-view arrests.
Thank you. My name is Kevin Wong, and I'm a Deputy District Attorney with the Alameda County DA's office. I want to thank Supervisor Miley for spearheading this illegal dumping pilot effort. On behalf of Nancy O'Malley, the District Attorney, we are excited about this program. We're committed to dedicating our resources to help investigate, and then if we develop cases, prosecute these illegal dumping cases. And this way, hopefully, will bring a deterrence effect in these two pilot areas. So thank you, everyone involved.
And as I said, I have an illegal dumping task force. We have been working very closely with Oakland Public Works, with the council member for this district, Larry Reed, and with the mayor's office, Mayor Libby Schaff. They aren't here today, but they know about the launch. We've been keeping them informed and running by them the details of our efforts at moving this forward, because there were some strategies that the city was not comfortable with us pursuing just because they didn't think those strategies could be duplicated in other parts of the city, and they wanted to just try to do strategies that we could use in other parts of the city. Now, illegal dumping doesn't have to take place. It really pisses me off that people take advantage of communities. And they just don't take advantage of low-income communities. They take advantage of all communities, whether it's a rural community, whether it's a suburban or more wealthy community. People illegally dump. It's just the intensity of the dumping is more pervasive in communities that have disparities like this community here. And so we have to pay much more attention to communities of this nature. And so I have two really great community-based organizations working with me on this pilot, Men of Valor and the Beautification Council. And I'd like to have Men of Valor and the Beautification Council come forward and make some remarks.
How you doing? My name's Thomas Hendricks. We came out here today just to help clean up the community. It's the right thing to do, so we came on the spot. Thanks for having us.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming out. I want to thank the Sheriff Department. I want to thank Supervisor Nate Miley for spearheading this. And I hope his message is clear. When you see the DA out here, you see the Sheriff Department, you see Supervisor Nate Miley making this it's a regional problem. I hope the people that are watching this on TV see that this is serious. This, he said, eradication. Today we're eradicating it. And then we're going to educate the neighborhood. And then it's going to be enforcement. So don't get it twisted. This is the beginning, and we're not going to stop. We're going to use the 3 E's: eradicate, enforce, and educate. And I thank everyone for coming out. So take this serious, because we're going to take back our community, because this is where we live. These gentlemen right here behind me live in this community. We're giving back to the community. You see the people that came out. Men of Valor came out, the DA, the Sheriff Department. This is serious. We're taking this serious, and I thank everyone for coming out. Thank you.
And because today's Earth Day, it's a Monday, a lot of folks are at work and doing other things. They're not out joining us, but we have other people from the community and other community-based organizations working with us, as well as the business sector working with us as well to help us sustain our efforts around addressing the problem of illegal dumping. We will be installing more cameras on G Street and on Railroad to help with the effort at catching illegal dumpers and to help with potential enforcement efforts associated with illegal dumping, so we can get some possible footage of folks illegal dumping and then have the necessary clarity of that footage to pursue investigations and to pursue prosecutions. So there will be additional cameras going up as well on this street and on Railroad Avenue. And as I said, eradicating, I've been told by Public Works, the community, we can come out and clean up. We can come out and clean up. We can come out and clean up. And as quick as we clean up, there'll be people that'll dump. So that's why we're educating the community, and we're also providing enforcement. We've sent out over 460 packets of information to the community around this effort and their responsibilities and how they can get involved, because we want the community to understand that they're part of this team as well. We need them to work with us to the best of their ability. We want to invite them to be engaged with this effort, and many of them are, and we're spreading the word so many more can get involved. I've had responses from other people who are not necessarily associated with this pilot here on G Street or Railroad who want to get engaged and do the same thing in other parts of the city and in other parts of the region. So we'll be talking with them about this as well as we continue forward. In addition, with the enforcement piece, the city attorney's office with the city's environmental enforcement officers will also be potentially looking at various problems associated with illegal dumping out here, and if they come up with evidence, they'll be pursuing that as well through the city attorney's office. So we've got the support of the public sector, the private sector, the community-based organizations, the faith-based community, everyone to try to deal with illegal dumping, because it's a plague on our community. It does not have to exist, and we've had enough of it. And we're going to see whether or not the strategies we employ, and we will be evaluating those strategies if they're effective at preventing illegal dumping and sustaining our efforts on this street, Railroad Avenue, and then beyond. So with that being said, I think we've heard from all the speakers this afternoon. We'll answer any questions that you might have.
If you target this area, like a lot of issues, won't it just move 2 or 3 blocks down the road?
Yes, that's the case. And that's why we're starting the pilot here, and then we want to take those strategies and bring them to scale in other parts of the city and in other parts of the region. But you're definitely correct. They'll just go somewhere else where there's a lack of enforcement or there's a lack of hope, and people will just take advantage and dump there. And we've also been told how people just come in and they drive their vehicles don't have license plates on them, or they'll dump, or they'll disguise themselves. So people are doing this without any regard to their responsibility and to the law. So we do recognize that, but we've got to start somewhere with this effort. And over the next 6 months, we're going to evaluate what we do to see whether or not we can take it to scale and duplicate it in other parts of this city as well as the region, and hopefully throughout the state. Ultimately, we want to chase it out of the state of California. Ultimately, we're pursuing legislation in Sacramento where we're looking to get dedicated law enforcement officers who are just responsible for dealing with illegal dumping. We're looking to get stronger penalties so we take illegal dumping from an infraction to a misdemeanor. We're looking to try to get legislation so that we can regulate the unregulated haulers who often go and pick up stuff from someone's home, turn the corner, and then dump. So we're looking at this comprehensively because Alameda County could pass a law. The city of Oakland could pass a law. In fact, Los Angeles has passed laws, and Contra Costa has passed laws. And what happens is they just go and dump somewhere else. So that's why we need to look at this comprehensively across the state. So we're starting here in East Oakland at this place as ground zero.
I got one on the education part of it. So what do you tell the community? What are they responsible?
We sent a letter to the community that was signed by myself with the support of the district attorney, the sheriff's department, the mayor, and the city council member. We were all mentioned in the correspondence, and we had material in there in terms of what people could do, who they could contact, how they can be involved, if they're interested in having cameras on their property that can help us with enforcement. And then we've had 2 meetings, at a stakeholder meeting with the community, at another community meeting last week. We're going to be coming out here and going door to door with surveys of the community on Saturday, this Saturday, April the 27th at 10 o'clock. We'll be meeting at AB&I and then going out and going door to door, surveying the community, asking them about illegal dumping, what's their perception, how they feel about it, how they can get engaged, if they want to get engaged. So we're going to be providing that one-on-one engagement, and obviously we can't force people to get involved, but we can try to give them a sense of hope and let them know we're adding value to trying to address this problem, and give them that sense of not just responsibility, but a sense of encouragement that we're with them in this fight, in this struggle.
If they see something in the act, you don't want them to get directly involved in that way, right?
No, if they see something, if they have camera footage, if they have cell phones, they can take that information down for us, and we have a number that they can send it into. The city's got C-Fix Click as well. So, but yeah, we don't want them to get engaged in that type of activity because it could end up problematic for those citizens. But we do want them to know that they've got the support of the city and the county and others working with them to try to bring about enforcement. Other questions? So it's a beautiful day, beautiful Earth Day. I really appreciate the fact that the Sheriff's Department towed a number of inoperable abandoned vehicles today. Appreciate the fact that Men of Valor, they've been out picking up garbage off of the street, and they'll be coming back to continue to do that both here and on Railroad Avenue, and sorting through the garbage to see if we can get evidence of people who are illegally dumping, and the fact that the Beautification Council's out here today helping to beautify. And one thing they're doing is they're spraying the buildings to remove all the graffiti, and I know they'll be coming back to do some weeding as well. So this effort, we want to sustain it, but we want to sustain it based on some efficacy that really helps to bring about results and prevents this from continuing in the future, and and then taking it to other parts of the city and other parts of the region.
Supervisor Miley, how many cars did they tow?
3.
How many bags have you gathered?
How many bags did we gather today?
At least 30.
At least 30.
Then the truckloads that the city took
And the city took away a truckload too. Any other questions? All right, thank you.